BASD community, and welcome to another edition of BASD Spotlight. Today we're going to meet Ms. Jamie Nattress, who is in her first year as a teacher in the Bethlehem area school district, teaching at Broughal Middle School. So welcome, Jamie.
Thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit about why you decided to come to the Bethlehem area school district?
Yes, so I'm not built by Bethlehem, but I'm built by just nearby. I'm from Caddy, but I went to college at Moravian and then at Lehigh for my master's.
That counts.
That counts.
Yeah.
We're kind of built by Bethlehem, but all of my pre-service teaching was in Bethlehem schools, and even when I went for my master's at Lehigh, we did a lot through Bethlehem there as well. So I had time at Nitchman and Spring Garden and Governor Wolf. But during my master's at Lehigh was when some of our professors, Jackie Santanasto being one, who's from Bethlehem, she was my mentor professor, and she brought in some of the Bethlehem principals, and I found that when they would speak to us about data and things like that, that it really spoke to me, and I felt like we were being really proactive for kids in Bethlehem, and doing what's best for kids, and it just was something that stuck by me. And then I remember specifically there was one time where one of those principals, I believe it was Mr. Amato, talked about how he used the school that I was at that time to compare his current school to, and I remember being like, okay, like that makes sense, and he was using that data, and it kind of stuck with me. A few years later, I actually took a school counselor that I was working with to Broccl to see what they were doing with the peace chairs and all of that.
So that's an interesting story, Jamie. I'm glad you applied.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, can you tell us a little bit about what your interview process was like and your onboarding as a new teacher?
Yes. So the interview process, I went to Broccl and met with Mr. Horlick and Mr. Terry, who's at Northeast, and we had math coaches that were involved in the interview as well. And I really got a good sense of, what the Bethlehem Middle Schools were about, just based on the questions that they were asking. Left and was like, I really hope I get this. It seems like such a good fit. Got a call that day right away, and I was so impressed because almost everything from that point forward was, when they said it was going to happen, it happened. So, I had, an interview with Dr. Leeson within a couple days, knew right away then what the next step was, and it was really great. I must say the HR department was amazing, very communicative, got really clear emails, this is what you need to do. You followed through, the next thing happened. So overall, I felt like it was a really easy process. I knew exactly when I would be starting. I knew what day I was going to be board approved. I knew that I could reach out to my principal. I had my email, I think, long before I even officially started, which was exciting because you can, get all that communication and everything. But overall, I felt like that entire process was really smooth. And you could reach out at any time if you had questions, and you got answers right away, which I really liked.
And everyone was excited to bring you on.
I was very excited.
So then you started at Broccl,
Yes.
And tell us a little bit about the successes you've been having this year with your students.
Yeah, so Broccl is such a nice gem of a school over in the south side there. I really love that the kids over at Broccl have the most amazing opportunities. I brought my whole family and all their friends to see Matilda 2 weeks ago. There's nothing like what, the shows that they put on over there. My daughter was singing, Matilda all weekend long. We got to talk a little bit about what that play was about. But even just, their basketball games, I'm sure everybody saw. We went caroling before Christmas. That was amazing. I know some people were kind of like, nervous about it. But at the end of the day, it was honestly, I couldn't think of a better way to have spent that last half day, and the community loved it. The people that were there at those events and the different schools we went to, that was really great. But most of all, I just really love, just recently we made some changes to our discovery groups, and I've been seeing kids like, Miss, I finally went up. They were kind of maybe staying stagnant, not growing, and we switched things up a little bit for kids, and they're growing, so that excitement of like, I went up 10 points, like they're really, really pumped about it. And I love to see that, those individual exchanges with middle school kids are so important. And they really remember those things with the adults that they hang out with. So I feel like that's been a really great, just getting to know the kids, getting to know their families, being at their basketball games, cheering them on. That's been the most important thing, is just kind of diving into the new community that I'm in.
And we've heard wonderful things about you.
Thank you.
So thank you for your support of kids. Just another example of some of the very best people in education joining us in the Bethlehem Area School District. Jamie, thank you for being part of the spotlight today.
Thank you.
Good luck the rest of the year.
Yes, thank you.